are you going to change about yourself this year?
Hey Falcons, welcome back from break. We're going to talk about the masquerade dance this week, so if you want more info on that and the other dates, skip to our show.
Welcome back, Falcons. Tune into our show to see which of your teams are left in the NFL playoffs.
Hey Falcons, hope all of you guys had a great break. This week we'll be talking about a new virtual reality experience at Disneyland called Secrets of the Empire. We'll also be talking about a new addition to All About Tech called App of the Week. So skip on over to my show to find out about these cool new additions.
What's up, Falcons? This week I'll be telling you weather, so skip to my show to find out.
Welcome back, Fairgrove Falcons. I'm Eric Ramirez, your host for College and Career Ready.
What's up, Falcons? Skip on to my show to find out what your late New Year's joke of the week is.
This week's word of the day is equality, and the number of the day is 15.
Yeah, according to Webster's dictionary, equality means likeness, sameness, and equality, power, status, or the state of being equal.
And the number 15 is an odd number, rational number, integer, and whole number.
Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to be a congressperson?
No, I haven't, but I would like to know more about it.
Let's go check out College and Career Ready with their host, Eric Ramirez.
Hey Fairgrove, today we'll be talking about on how to become a congressperson. Let's start with the first thing you need to become a congressperson. To run in the House of Representatives, you must be at least 25 years old. Imagine if you were 15 years old, that would be a hassle. If you were from another country, you would have to be a citizen of the United States for 7 years. And if you want to become a Senate, you have to be 30 years old, but we're not focusing on that. If you were to become a congressperson, you do not need a degree. But for the best, you should practice law and political science. If a president wanted to pass a law, then you would have to go to Congress and see if they agree. This leads us to our final piece of information. The minimum salary for a congressperson is $174,000. I do sure hope that our president doesn't want to pass any laws that will hurt us. That's all for this week, Fairgrove Falcons. I hope we could treat ourselves equally. Now let's get back to the studio with Amber Romero and Duarte.
Whew, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." Then he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will, but today I am still just a bill.
listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but it looks like I'm gonna live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be along. How I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time you're so
By
old,
that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but how I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
He signed your bill. Now you're a law.
Oh, yes.
Hey Lizette, do you know who Martin Luther King Jr. is?
Yeah, wasn't he the person who led the civil rights movement in the United States?
He was. Well, anyways, let's go check out All About Tech with your host, Ray Batato.
Now let's start talking about the VR at Disneyland. The experience is called Secrets of the Empire and is located in downtown Disney. In this VR experience, you'll be taken over as 4 stormtroopers as you traverse through an Empire base as you search for equality.
Yes.
In the galaxy. Tickets for the VR must be purchased in advance and are $30. In the experience, you take disguise as 4 stormtroopers as you search through an Empire base looking for intel for the Republic. Now before I show you guys the video, I need to tell you guys about a new edition All About Tech called App of the Week. From now until the last broadcast of the year, I'll be bringing you guys an app every week that I personally think is good. This week the app's called Duolingo. The app is free across all platforms and helps teach you different languages. The app will start off by giving you a few simple phrases and a few hints to figure them out. As it progresses on, the phrases will get harder and harder. If you start to see certain keywords over and over again, you'll start to remember more key phrases. I challenge you to try and learn a language in under 15 days. Now let's go check out a quick video on the experience at Disneyland.
Yes.
This is Mon Mothma. I have an assignment for you. The rebellion needs you, and we don't have much time. You must work together. You must not fail. In disguise, your team's mission is to recover Imperial intelligence critical to our survival.
You're with me. The rest of you, get on that skiff. Do your best to act Imperial.
Looks like you'll have to fight your way out.
What is that?
This could be a threat to our entire existence.
Alright, well that's all for this week, Falcons. So let's head on back to the studio with Amber and Lizette.
Random fact of the day. Did you know that Martin Luther King Jr. was a Baptist minister?
No, I did not know that.
Let's go check out Weekly Poll with your host, Richard Rodriguez.
Just a little more love, just a little more peace is all it takes to live the dream, to walk hand in hand.
What's up, Falcons? I'm Richard Rodriguez, your host for Weekly Poll. Back then, people weren't as equal as they are today. This week's question is, what are you going to change about yourself this year?
Eat more meat!
To get better at sports. Get better at sports. To get better at sports. Get better at school. Get better at school. Get better at sports.
Go.
Improve my reading level.
Go.
Softball.
Go.
Get better at school. I'm gonna stop playing video games.
Go.
Stop playing video games.
Go.
Stop playing video games. To get better at school.
Go.
Try to get A's.
Go.
Get better at school.
Okay. Go.
Get better at school. Learn new sports.
For real, man.
Learn new sports.
Go.
I would try to be more happy.
Now let's check out the results.
Eat more meat, got 5%. Get better at sports, got 20%. Get better at school, got 30%. Improve reading, got 5%. Get better at softball, got 5%. Stop playing video games, got 15%. Get A's, got 5%. Learn new sports, got 10%. Be happy, got 5%. And the winner is get better at school with 30%.
Well, that's all for this week, Falcons. See you next week on week 15 of broadcast. Now let's head back to the studio with Amber and Lizette.
Hey, I have a quote that Martin Luther King said.
Okay, let me hear it.
If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you keep on moving forward.
Oh yeah, that reminds me to never give up and to keep on trying to accomplish your goal.
Yeah, well, let's go check out Sports Seeds with your hosts Devin Groves and Joshua Juarez.
Welcome back, Falcons.
We're your hosts for Sports News. My name's Devin Groves.
And my name's Joshua Juarez. Let's head over to the NFL.
The Vikings came clutch against the States by winning by a score of 29-24.
First and goal. Murray, right side, bouncing. Touchdown, Minnesota. Trying to work the ball on the boundary. Keenum steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs, sideline, touchdown. Unbelievable. Vikings win it.
The Vikings will now go to the NFC Championship and face the Philadelphia Eagles for the #1 spot in the Super Bowl. The Steelers had a tough loss against Jacksonville by a score of 45-42.
Perfect goal for Jacksonville. Bohannon in front of Fournette. Fournette goes airborne. He's in. Touchdown, Jaguars. Handoff, Fournette hurdles. Fournette cuts to the outside. Oh, Fournette! Trying to curl it inside the...
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field has been changed. The runner was inbounds and crossed the ball with the goal line.
Jacksonville was going to play the Patriots in AFC Championship.
The Patriots dominated the Tennessee Titans by a score of 35-14.
Mariota going to the end zone. A one-handed catch by Davis, who did not score a touchdown all regular season. Let's see if it's man or zone. Fine, a little shuffle pass to White, and he dives across for the touchdown. 4th down, and they're bringing it. Got it away to the end zone, and it is caught.
Eagles won the Falcons by a score of 15.
There's a fumble, and then Ryan looks that way. Tries to dump it off, and hits Freeman for a touchdown. And it is 15-10, so Philly is up by 5.
That's all for this week, Falcons. Make sure to treat everybody with equality. Now let's head over to the studio where Zeth and Amber.
Hey, I wonder what class Alan is going to this week.
Yeah, I hope they have something enthusiastic to show us.
Yeah, let's go check out Arts Focus with your host, Alan Hinalos.
Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon. Formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men.
What's up, Falcon? This week we'll be interviewing Miss Nelson. So let's head over to room 28. Good afternoon, Alan. What has your class been working on?
We just finished a unit on animals and nature, and we've been working on ecosystems and science. So we dissected owl pellets and read some stories about barn owls. So we decided to create our own barn owls.
How are they made?
So first, we drew our owls on paper bags. After we traced and outlined them, we used chalk pastels to fill in and shade the details. Those were then mounted on black construction paper, and we used silver Sharpies to create the nighttime moon and the stars for our owls.
How do you think the project turned out?
I think their owls turned out awesome, and now since we're working on poetry, we're going to add some poems to those art pieces about our owls.
I feel very good about what I've done because I think that it took a lot of work to do it and it came out good.
These projects are equally as good as Vincent Van Gogh's masterpieces. Don't forget that Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15th, 1929. It was a Tuesday. Now let's march back to the studio with Sam Romero. That's the last guest.
The coming of the Lord, my eyes have seen the glory.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, glory.
We'll be back after these short messages.
Second floor of my hotel, I'm rolling up, about to blaze. And zone out to this Frankie Beverly and Maze. As our days about to pass, and them days in the past, he set my mind free, so my mind free at last. So much that I don't even drink from a fucking glass. I'd rather find the first fountain I can and do it fast. Didn't understand the dream of a king.
Today we're going to learn about the civil rights leader, Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr., best known for his nonviolent protests and speeches calling for equality for all people, was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. He was the second of 3 children, born to a Baptist preacher. At the time, less than 70 years after slavery was made illegal in the United States, things were still hard for Black Americans. Many people were unhappy when slavery was ended, and lawmakers in some places, especially southern states, made special rules to keep white people and Black people apart. People of different races had to use different drinking fountains, different bathrooms, and even had to go to different schools. The Supreme Court ruled that it was legal as long as things were separate but equal. This separation between people of different colors was called segregation. This was the atmosphere that young Martin Luther King grew up in. He attended a segregated school, where he did so well that he was able to skip 2 grades and graduate at the age of 15. Shortly after graduating, he began studying at Morehouse College, and he graduated with a degree in sociology in 1948. He had decided to become a minister like his father, and so he enrolled in a seminary to study religion. In 1951, Martin Luther King Jr. graduated from the seminary, the top in his class. On June 18, 1953, King married Coretta Scott, with whom he would have 4 children. He continued his education by studying for his doctorate at Boston College, and in 1954 he became the pastor of a Baptist church in Montgomery, Alabama. In 1955, he received his PhD when he was only 25 years old. In December of 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus to a white man, for which she was arrested and spent the night in jail. Martin Luther King and other civil rights leaders organized a boycott of the bus system. This meant that the people who wanted things to change would stop riding the bus. The Montgomery bus boycott lasted over a year, and so many people refused to ride the buses that the bus companies lost a lot of money. In December of 1956, the Supreme Court ruled that segregated buses were unconstitutional. This was a major victory for the civil rights movement, and it proved that peaceful methods could create change. However, many people were upset by the changes that were happening, and Martin Luther King was nationally recognized after his part in the bus boycott. He was jailed over 20 times, stabbed, his house was bombed, and he was frequently threatened, but he never stopped calling for equality. Between 1957 and 1968, King worked tirelessly to promote civil rights. He traveled all over, giving thousands of speeches, writing 5 books and many articles. His hard work and speaking ability earned him respect and a personal meeting with President John F. Kennedy. Of all his speeches, his most memorable was the I Have a Dream speech, delivered on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1963 to a listening crowd of 250,000 people.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
That year, Martin Luther King was named Time magazine's Man of the Year, and in 1964 he received the Nobel Peace Prize. Around the same time, partially as a result of his efforts, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act, which made segregation and discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin illegal. King gave his final speech on April 3rd, 1968.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
The next day, while he was standing on his hotel balcony, Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and killed. He was 39 years old. In 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed a bill creating a national holiday to remember King's life and accomplishments. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is celebrated on the 3rd Monday every January in honor of the man whose dream of peace and equality helped change a nation. I hope you enjoyed learning about Martin Luther King Jr. today. Goodbye till next time.
Was chasing the cash, chasing that low life with his face in the grass, riding home from school in front.
Hey, do you know if David has any dates for us this week?
I'm pretty sure. Let's go check out What's Up with Fairgrove with your host, David Galavis.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history.
Hey Falcons, I'm David Galavis, your host for What's Up with Fairgrove. Today's sports day where you can wear your team's jerseys, shirts, and caps. January 22nd is Jean Day, so make sure to bring $1. January 24th is the oratory for 4th and 5th. It's from 9 to 10 a.m. Also, basketball has a game from 3:15 to 5 at Los Altos. Good luck. Now let's start talking about the dance. This dance is January 24th. It's from 3 to 5 p.m. It's $5 per ticket, and it will be equal for everybody else. But if you have an ASB card, it will be $3. There are some other things you should know. There is a code of conduct required to be allowed in. But if you turn it around, there will be more information on the other side. The paper says that it's a formal dance, which means no jeans, t-shirts, hoodies, etc. Guys must wear slacks, collared shirts, and a tie or a bow tie if you want to be a rebel. Girls must wear a dress or a blouse with pants. You can also use a mask if you want to, but it's not required. That was a lot of info, like 15 minutes of reading. Anyway, let's head back to the studio.
Hey Amber, do you think Gabriel's jokes are going to be 15 times better than last week's?
I'm pretty sure they're always good.
Well, let's go check out Joke of the Week with your host, Gabriel Perez.
Welcome back, Falcons. I'm your host for Joke of the Week, Gabriel Perez.
Camera rolling. Action.
Did you know that Martin Luther King's birthday is on August 15th? Well, I didn't. Anyways, let's get on to the jokes.
Action.
What's a cow's favorite holiday? Happy Moo Year.
Camera rolling. Action.
That's all for this week, Falcons. Now let's head back to the studio with Amber Romero and Lizette Philap.
Do you know what the weather's going to be for this weekend?
No, but I hope it's cold. Let's go check out weekend weather with your host, Christian Morales.
What's up, Falcons? I'm your host, Christian Morales.
And I'm your co-host, Nick Mejia.
And we'll be telling you your weekend weather. So let's hop into the Doppler radar with Nick Mejia.
Here we are. The blue circle is our location. As it shows, there is no major weather in our area. So this week will be sunny and partly cloudy.
And now for your weather forecast. Here's your weather forecast.
Today's going to be partly cloudy with a high 63 and a low 42. Tomorrow's going to be sunny with a high 62 and a low 39. Sunday's going to be partly cloudy with a high 64 and a low 42. Monday's also going to be partly cloudy with a high 67 and a low 46. Tuesday's going to be sunny with a high 68 and a low 45.
Thanks, Nick. Well, that's it for this week, Falcons. Remember, Falcons, to treat everyone with equality. Now let's head back to the studio with Amber and Lizette.
Hey, what's this week's song?
Wait, I'm not quite sure. Let's go check out Song of the Week with your host, Sarah Cantar.
Bye, Falcons.
I'm your host, David Alcantar. This week, Falcons, we're going to be showing you pictures of a color run assembly and giving you this week's song. This week's song is Pride in the Name of Love, written by U2. We chose this song because we will remember Martin Luther King Jr. in our hearts.
Action.
This song was released in 1984. This song's genre is pop. Now, Falcons, try to get your thinking caps on and try to answer this question. This question is, how did Martin Luther King Jr. inspire you? Don't forget to treat each other equally. Well, that's all for this week, Falcons. And remember, comment down below on what you think of our question.
One man caught on a barbed wire fence. One man he resists. One man washed on an empty beach. One man